the Ten Commandments and their meanings. Imagine a world where our children grow up with hearts full of kindness and respect. This is what the Ten Commandments can offer our little ones. It's not just about ancient rules, but about seeds of love and compassion that we plant in their hearts. When we teach these precious lessons, we are giving them a compass to navigate the turbulent waters of life. Each commandment is like a hug that protects them from evil and guides them towards good. And at the end of the video, I will tell you which is the most important commandment. Think of the joy of seeing your child treating others with kindness, being honest even when it's difficult, and valuing family above all. These teachings touch the soul and shape character in a way that no school lesson can. And isn't it beautiful to see how these ancient words can still light up a child's curious eyes? How they can spark deep questions and conversations that bring parents and children closer together. By sharing the Ten Commandments, we are not just passing on information, we are transmitting love, wisdom, and hope. We are creating a brighter future, one heart at a time. After all, what could be more precious than seeing our children grow up to be good, just, and loving people? This is the true power of teaching the Ten Commandments. It's not about rules, it's about love. It's about creating a better world through the smiles and actions of our children. Give a like if you believe in the power of these teachings. Hit the bell so you don't miss any of our inspiring videos. Share in the comments how you teach important values to the children in your life. Remember, every click, every share, every comment helps us spread more love and wisdom around the world. Let's create a brighter future for our children together. First, you shall have no other gods before me. The greatest of all commandments says that God is unique and must be loved above all. In other words, the Lord should not be placed second. We must live according to His law and never seek outside it, whether in superstitions or other beliefs, the answers to the questions of existence. Second, you shall not make for yourself any idol. This commandment says that nothing can replace God. Therefore, idols should not be worshipped in place of the Lord. The Catholic Church and Protestant denominations have different interpretations of this commandment. Protestants take the rule literally and do not use images. Catholics, on the other hand, assert that the veneration of images, icons, should not be confused with the worship of the Creator. This is because the veneration of images of saints, for example, is seen as a pathway to God, not a substitution for Him. Third, you shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. This commandment calls attention to the respect for God and sacred things. Abusing and making light of the Lord's name are considered disrespectful attitudes. Fourth, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. This precept says that one day a week should be set aside for rest and worship of God. For Jews, the weekly day of rest is Shabbat, rest. Generally, in Christianity, Sunday is considered the Lord's Day, as it is the day of Christ's resurrection. For Christians, the commandment relates to the importance of rest. Fifth, honor your father and your mother. We must honor our father and mother because they give us life and impart the knowledge of God to us. Parents, in a way, symbolize the divine presence in an individual's life. Sixth, you shall not kill. This commandment, found in Exodus 20:13, addresses a fundamental value, life. Therefore, it implies that human life is sacred, as it is created by the Lord in His image and likeness. Seventh, you shall not commit adultery. This commandment, found in Exodus 20:14, speaks of the prohibition of adultery, extramarital relations, and the protection of marriage, the sacrament that gives rise to the family. For Christians, adultery is a grave offense, as it violates the sacred covenant made before God. In Matthew 5:27-28, it is seen that sin can exist in thought, even before the act of adultery. You have heard that it was said, "You shall not commit adultery." But I tell you that anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart. 8th, you shall not steal. This commandment, in Exodus 20:15, explicitly states that it is wrong to take possession of others' belongings. This includes any type of theft, robbery, fraud, extortion, kidnapping, or act of corruption. In Mark 10:19, some of the commandments are reiterated, including the one that condemns theft. You know the commandments: you shall not murder, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal, you shall not give false testimony, you shall not defraud, honor your father and mother. Mark 10:19. 9th, you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. This commandment condemns accusing someone of something they did not do. Therefore, it addresses slander, lying, gossip, and defamation. Failing to tell the truth constitutes a serious moral violation before God. 10th, you shall not covet. This commandment, in Exodus 20:17, addresses the sin of envy or covetousness, dissatisfaction with what one has, and the desire to have what is not theirs. There is a passage about this in Deuteronomy 5:21. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife. You shall not desire your neighbor's house, his field, his male or female servant, his ox or donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor. Deuteronomy 5:21. The most important commandment. The Bible reveals an episode in which Jesus is questioned about the most important commandment of all. Christ responded that the most important is, love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind, Matthew 22:37. The second most important is, love your neighbor as yourself, Matthew 22:39. These two commandments are known as the Golden Rule, because whoever manages to fulfill them will certainly also fulfill the 10 Commandments expressed in the Old Testament.